The Wichita Flyers kicked 6 field goals against Dallas in their first loss of the season. They should have no problem getting touchdowns against the Mustangs, who have lost 3 straight, desperate to end a 3-game homestand on a winning note. Fresno's Chad Powers and Cardiac Squid lead a Bobcat offense that welcomes a top receiver back to the team tonight, Freddie Spencer. Portland quarterback Emmanuel Blackman stands in their way in a battle of 3-3 teams out west. And the Minnesota Chippers fans may be chewing through paper bags if the losing streak doesn't end. On the other side, Montana quarterback Blake Green looks for his first win since getting traded. We'll watch it all tonight in the virtual zone. And Week 7 concludes tonight here on VFN. Sit back and enjoy the glory of 3 times the football as 90 minutes of UFL action starts right now. Our first kickoff is in California. Minnesota and Motor City are also underway and kicking it away to visiting opponents. I'm UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine. Get those bingo sheets ready. 4 corners wins tonight here on Game Night. And we're ready to go. We start with a deep shot from Chad Powers. And that ball actually hit the receiver at the top of the helmet. And BK Solberg's got his first completion for 19 yards. That's Raylan Witten. We are underway around the league. Minnesota hosting Montana. Montana fell to Portland in their last meeting. Minnesota has lost a couple of close ones here lately. Blake Green lost to Portland in prime time in his first game as a quarterback. He was traded. He was the Portland backup. Then he got traded to Montana and, played pretty good in his first game against his old team. But now with a week under his belt actually with the team and at practice, we'll see what Blake Green's got for Montana tonight. Shout out LB Coach. That's hilarious. I'm glad you clarified because I had no idea what the heck was going on with all that Charlie stuff. In fact, Tyler Falk, who's playing right now in Minnesota, and the play-by-play commentator in our UFL primetime game tonight was telling me, he was doing that in an SFL broadcast too, and I don't think anybody knew what he was talking about, so that's pretty hilarious. Wichita is past midfield. They are the first team to do so. Oh, what a ball! Touchdown, K. Marion! Touchdown. Did not expect that right out of the gate from Montana. Blake Green with an absolute bomber, and Marion caught it with one hand, lower right-hand corner. That is gorgeous, and Montana is on the board just like that. Caught us all by surprise. A 57-yard score, so 50-plus off the card straight away. And the extra point for Montana is good. Unbelievable. What a ball from Blake Green. And I believe, if I'm remembering last week correctly, and just double checking here on the stats, Blake Green's first career touchdown is a 57-yard bomb to K. Marion. What an absolute beautiful play. And then Motor City's James Walters gets the end around and picks up 15 yards. The speedy Mustangs got the ball back. They didn't have the ball to start. Did we miss something there while BK Solberg lost the ball on a fumble, and it was recovered. It was recovered by unclaimed linebacker Marcus Thomas. And so already an early turnover for Wichita. Fresno's in the red zone. Let's send our audio there. As Hurd is at about the Portland 20-yard line.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Go on.
Charge horn going in Fresno. First and 10 for the Bobcats. Dumps it off to about the 17-yard line. Motor City is in scoring position down to the 28. And that is the first carry of the career for Jimmy Lorenzo. Jimmy Lorenzo, the newest face to the UFL, playing in his first game tonight. That's a beautiful juke move to get the Mustangs in prime position to get some points. Doug Falk hands the ball off to the 41-yard line. Got about 3. Did Dalton Brown. Deep shot from Chad Powers is intercepted. Picked off by Portland. And the Huskies get an early turnover and an early red zone stop as well. The Bobcats welcome back to the team this week unclaimed wide receiver 1, Freddie Spencer. And unclaimed free safety 1, Jamal Augustine. A couple of Bobcat vets after they lost Ryan Proster and Tom Rahman. Minnesota's got a 4th and 3, so they're going to have to punt it away. Booth review happening in Fresno. Let's go to Detroit, where Jack Brown's pass is also intercepted in the end zone. Pass picked off by unclaimed strong safety Nico Reginald. And yeah, it was just thrown in double coverage. Not a good ball. Looking for unclaimed wide receiver 3, Laventris Hawkins. So Motor City does nothing with that early turnover. The fumble from BK Solberg on the opening possession. And now Wichita will get the football back. So Wichita and Motor City with turnovers on their opening possessions. BK Solberg from his own 20, and not much there to report. Okay, everyone is inside their own 30 right now. So we'll go to a 3rd down and 3 for Portland at their own 27-yard line. Emmanuel Blackman is the star quarterback for the Portland Huskies, and that one is incomplete. Looking for unclaimed tight end A.J. Price. Portland in their all whites tonight. Fresno in the purple helmets and tops. Wichita's rocking the green lids and green pants. All blue tonight for Motor City. Montana's in their white tops, white pants, and Minnesota in their traditional green and gold. Punt coming for Portland after the Huskies failed to convert the 3rd down. 3rd and 7 for Wichita. And that ball was deflected back into the hands of Raylan Witten, upper left-hand corner. This should have been an interception. Oh, no, it hit him in the shoulder. It hit Witten in the shoulder, bounced off a Mustang, and then Witten ended up catching it. That was unclaimed strong safety Takoy Clayton for Motor City, who had a chance at that football, and Raylan Witten ends up coming down with it. LB, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, the mod actually started way back in the COVID days from CJ, and it took so long to finish that, you know, we just remain on the platform. But as Solberg's pass is caught to the sideline, past the 50, past the 30, down the sideline, it's a Wichita touchdown! 66 yards for unclaimed wide receiver 3, Darian Atkins, and the unclaimed so far here on game night have made a monumental impact. Chad Powers, 3rd and 17, launches into double coverage. That's no good. But Wichita's explosive passing offense strikes down the sideline, and both touchdowns here so far tonight have been from over 50 yards away.
The kicker on for the extra
Let's go to Minnesota, where Montana has a 2nd and 9 near midfield. And Jason Williams ran out of room on the sideline. Blake Green so far, 5 of 6 over 100 yards. That 57-yard touchdown to K. Marion. That was Marion's 3rd touchdown of the season, which, can you believe it, guys, is nearing the halfway point. Isn't that crazy? About halfway through week 9, we will be at the midway point of the inaugural UFL season. 3rd down and 9. Green's pass is swatted away, so Minnesota's defense is going to get off the field. Politicking is out here repping Motor City, cheering for the Mustangs, who started 2-0. They have lost 3 in a row. See Jack Brown's early numbers, not great, as Blackman goes play action and completes it to the 48-yard line near a 1st down. Motor City started 2-0. They've lost 3 in a row, including 2 straight home games. This is the 3rd game of a 3-game homestand, and they are trying to send their fans home happy. That's Austin with the carry. Reginald on the tackle. Minnesota's offense, which has been really struggling so far this season, back out there. You know, Minnesota has also struggled with the player participation as well. And I've got an announcement coming up on primetime that hopes to address the UFL's randomness of progression. Some players have, I think complained is a strong word, but issued some disappointments about how, you know, progression just kind of feels like a lottery system. It feels random, and they want a little bit more control. A little bit more control is coming to UFL progression, and we'll detail some of that on UFL Primetime coming up later tonight. Tyler Falk and Ramos Lynn on that call. 3rd down and 13. Jack Brown got a wide open receiver, and he underthrew. I think that was Ace Fennick, who was all alone. Doug Falk takes a sack, 1st of the day. Upper left-hand corner. Ace Fennick is just, wow. I think he lost the ball in the lights. That wasn't a tremendously underthrown pass, but a missed opportunity there for Motor City, who's quickly already down in this game 7-0, and the Mustangs will have to punt. Minnesota trying to get off their record pace of sacks allowed. Motor City has not been much better in that department either. A couple of struggling offensive lines playing here on game night. As Fresno is nearing midfield, let's go there. Blake Green, 5 of 7 for 106 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions so far. BK Solberg off the play fake. He's got all day and just a 3-man rush. He'll take the check down. Good coverage from the Mustangs. Powers is 6 of 9. Solberg 6 of 7 to start.
Come on, set, 10-2 start. Yeah.
Again, we update the spreads here in real time on this channel. Motor City certainly not a favorite against Wichita here today. They are 6.5-point underdogs. Fresno, a very slight favorite over Portland with that home field at a 1.5-point favorite. And then the Chippers giving up 4.5 at home against Montana and their new quarterback, Blake Green. 3rd down and 3 for Green. That pass is incomplete, so now it's 4th down for the Silvertips. They're going to have to punt it away. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. Let us know how you're doing in the chat. I'd love to see who's watching tonight here on UFL Game Night. We got 3 simultaneous punts going on. A game night nightmare as far as I'm concerned. And the best starting field position is going to be for Portland, so I guess we'll keep it there. Scoreless game in Fresno, and we've had 2 touchdowns tonight, both 50-plus. So only 2 numbers off the board here on game night. 4 corners wins your Yugo. Jack Brown has time. That pass is caught. Blackman has time. That pass is caught. And Ace Fennick with a reception. Just the second completion of the game for Jack Brown. That one goes for 28 to Ace Fennick. Ace Fennick this season, 24 catches for 345 yards and a touchdown. Doug Falk on the scrambles, got a 10-yard run. And a move of the sticks for Minnesota. Saeed Gore, Colin Northrup's in the house. On Mississippi as well. And that reminds Jack Brown down the sideline, just caught by the shoelaces. A 20-yard run for Jack Brown. That is pretty unusual. Brown's just 12th carry. He had 11 carries for 45 yards so far this season, so not a terrible average. But that 20-yard run for Jack Brown's his longest of the season.
Let's go.
Curtis McCrae's in the house as well. Seeing Juan in the chat reminded me, did I ever respond to his message? I did, okay. Excellent.
Ready up. 53, Mike. Hey.
Second down and 2 for Minnesota, but Portland is across the 50. And Blackman's going deep into the red zone, but it is incomplete. That last run for Minnesota by Dalton Brown. 2 carries, 8 yards to start, and it looks like Fresno's our first game into the second quarter, and Minnesota is going to join them. Let's go to Motor City for a 3rd down and 2. Motor City's at the Wichita 39-yard line as they come to the end of the first quarter. Ace Fennick is also in the house. And we're doing great as well. That pass is caught. Jack Brown down to about the 21-yard line. And we continued doing some testing here at VFN. We've got, Fresno's got an interception. That pass is picked off on the sideline by Stewart. And we're still scoreless in California. Blackman going far side of the field, and there's just nobody open over there. Got the toe tap, both in. Beautiful job by Stewart. 3rd down and 6, Minnesota. And Doug Falk converts. 4 for 4 for 28 yards is Doug Falk so far. Minnesota's in Montana territory. Let's go back to Detroit. I'll get back to what we're working on here at VFN Studios here in a moment. End around for Motor City inside the 10, down to the 8. That is King Richards, 16 yards, and Motor City's end around game is strong here in the early goings. The Coco's here to celebrate 4 corners tonight, and so far, we have not had a ton of numbers off the board, although Motor City is in the red zone. Trying to punch it in from 7 yards out. That is a fumble, knocked forward, recovered by Motor City at the 4. That was a backwards pass that was knocked up into the air. Oh, dirty juke there by Dalton Brown. Watch, upper left-hand corner. A helmet shot to the football, and then it pinballed back to James Walters, who saves Ace Fennick. This is a monster shot by unclaimed corner John Howard. Wichita had only 1 forced fumble all season up to that point, but now it's 2nd and goal at the 4. And Jack Brown is going to be sacked back at the 10. Sacked by unclaimed defensive tackle 1, Brandon Bell. as Cardiac Squid gets beyond midfield. This is a 51-yard kick for Minnesota. Can you believe it? Another play of 50-plus yards, but the field goal will hit, and it's 7-3 Silvertips.
Ready.
Third down and goal at the 10. Brown fires into the end zone off the hands of the intended receiver, and now it's fourth down. Motor City crumbles a little bit in the red zone. Austin's got to catch that. Cardiac Squid running hard for Fresno in a scoreless game between 2 3-3 records out west. Field goal from 27 yards is good for Motor City. Blake Green's early start, 5 of 8 for 106 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Anyways, back to what I was discussing about some things we're working on here at VFN Studios, not necessarily UFL related, but working on some new presentation for the SFL Championship game, which is on Saturday. That is between Mexico City and Vancouver. Still working through all the kinks, but hoping that we've got the widescreen showing the game. Essentially the camera zoomed out a little bit, very similar, or a little bit similar to what you knew in the APF era of the SFL, and also right here in the UFL. Chad Powers on a 3rd down and 9, and all day to throw. Takes a check down. Squid looking for a block, didn't get one. And so now it's going to be 4th and 1 for Fresno. And let's see what Fresno elects to do on 4th and short in a scoreless game. Blake Green slinging it for Montana. First down to the Minnesota 43-yard line. Fresno will take the points. This is a 43-yard field goal for the Bobcats. 43-yard field goal is good. 3-0. Finally, some points in the Fresno game. BK Solberg, upper left-hand corner of the screen. That was complete. We're going to get a replay of that? Yes, we are. Look at this catch by Chris Delro. That is a tough catch. That's not necessarily on the money, but nice reception. All right, let's go to Detroit for 3rd down and 1 for BK Solberg and the Flyers. And they run a read option. Look at Solberg rumbled to midfield. Solberg, not the most fleet of foot, 14 yards on 3 carries this season with a long of 14, and I think he may have just picked up that on that run. A downright saunter to midfield. And Colin Douglas made the tackle. What are the odds? Emmanuel Blackman, tough start for Portland, 4 of 9 for 53 yards and a pick. Solberg, after his 14-yard jaunt, throws it down to RJ Gilmer, down to the Motor City 40. And Blackman's incompletion now makes him 4 for 10.
Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Solberg's pass caught by Delro. And Montana's kick will pin Minnesota down to the 3-yard line. And with all the troubles Minnesota's had protecting their quarterback, that could be pretty dangerous. 2nd and 8, Solberg airmails that one. Let's go to 3rd and 5 in California. Emmanuel Blackman over the middle. There's a penalty marker.
Holding offense.
It's a hold on Shane Gutekunst. Deep shot, Solberg into traffic, and that ball finally hits the turf. So it's 4th down. Motor City gets the stop. Blackman taken off, and really nice pursuit on the back end of that play by Fresno's defense. That was big number 93, the defensive end, Isaiah Catledge. Look at Catledge pursuing Blackman down the field. That was pretty. 55-yard field goal attempt for Wichita to go up 10-3. And it is just short. Wichita's field goal hits the padding on the goalpost. Oh, no, actually just to the left or just to the right of it. As Donnie Allegheny makes the catch for Minnesota. They've got they marked him short, actually. 3rd and inches coming up. Minnesota started from inside their 5-yard line. Face mask on Portland, 3rd and inches, and too much juking. Minnesota is short. Wow, that is inexcusable. I mean, you've got the 1st down at that point. Hand off to Jimmy Lorenzo. And while we're in a lull, well, hold on everything because Chad Powers is going long, but there's a late flag. Illegal touching on Freddie Spencer. He didn't even catch it. I didn't even think he deflected it. That's a tough call for Fresno. That's going to be 2nd down and 10 anyway. It's just a loss of down. That was a weird penalty there in California. What is Motor City celebrating? I think they may have just gotten the 1st down on a little screen pass. This is a very quiet game night so far. 10 carries for 34 yards for Jason Williams. 7-3, 7-3, and 3-0 as we enter the final portions of the 2nd quarter. Austin takes his 3rd handoff for Motor City and only picks up 1. Jason Williams on his 11th carry for 37 yards will bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Silvertips. 12 runs, 8 passes for Motor City so far against Wichita as they're trying to play keep away from that high-powered Flyer offense. And on play action, it's James Walters down to the 23-yard line, a 20-yard pickup. And Montana gets the 1st down just as we hit the 2-minute warning. Oh, okay, quiet's not the word. What would be your word? First down, Montana. Blake Green's in some trouble. Oh, he got away! Blake Green, nice play for the Silvertips. That could have easily resulted in a sack. Fumble in the Fresno Portland matchup. I think it was the disgruntled Eric Guger with the lost fumble. Oh, and it's Catledge who ripped it out. Catledge is having a phenomenal 1st half for Fresno, and the Portland Huskies offense continues their 1st half woes. Boring is the word. Well, that's not good. Motor City's in the red zone. 3rd down and 6. Browns pass is caught. That's enough for a 1st down. Now inside the red zone goes the Bobcats. Powers 11 of 15 for 109 yards and a pick. That's Spencer. And Montana's in the red zone. Okay, here we go. How's that for boring? 3 games with red frames, all inside the 20. 48 seconds left for Montana, up 7-3. That pass is incomplete. Let's go to Detroit. 1st down for the Mustangs, trying to take their 1st lead of the day from the 13-yard line. Dumps it off short. King Richard down to the 4. Jack Brown 8 of 11 for 76 yards, and Portland just got a sack. Blake Green, all day to throw, going to take off and run. Green down to the 12-yard line, timeout Montana. Second down and 1 for the Mustangs. 2:45 to go in the half. Handoff, Jimmy. Is it Jimmy or is it Austin? It's Jimmy Lorenzo. Touchdown Mustangs, and it's Lorenzo's first career touchdown in his first game with the Mustangs. Motor City takes a 9-7 lead over Wichita. Third down and 2 for Green. Fresno into the end zone. What a grab and a touchdown for Montana. Back-to-back-to-back scores here on game night. And lots to cover here as Spencer caught it for Fresno. Jermichael Dixon caught it for Montana. And Jimmy Lorenzo runs it in for Motor City. All right, for Motor City, that was a 4-yard score. And they put a 10 on the board. Montana puts a 14 on the board. And we got to check the touchdown yardage in both of those games. Let's see. We've got a 14-yard touchdown in the Fresno game, so that was already off the board. And then for Montana, that was a 12-yard strike. So 12 is off the board. We'll get those numbers updated, but a flurry of activity just before the end of the first halves here in all of the games across game night. Yeah, it is getting good. You know, it would have been nice if they didn't all happen all at the same time. But, we'll take it. And Motor City just got a sack. That's unclaimed defensive tackle Chandler Bailey up front. So now we got 14-3 Silvertips, 10-0 Bobcats. Blackman's trying to get something out of this Portland offense. 6 of 12 for 63 yards. And Motor City right now, the biggest home dog today, is up on Wichita 10-7. Ronnie needs a 25 and a 16. Solberg all day to throw. Can't give this passing offense that kind of time.
We got this.
And Wichita's in business. 2-minute warning. Raylan Witten with the catch, 4 for 49 for the talented tight end. 23 seconds left for Minnesota and 2 timeouts to work with. And again, I think that's Raylan Witten one more time. He has been Solberg's top target. Wichita's in Motor City territory just before the half. Timeout Minnesota. They did not get out of bounds. Solberg checks it down. That is Darian Atkins once again. Tyler Falk with that last catch for Minnesota. 3rd down and 1. 18 seconds left. They probably only have time for one play in the field of play. 1:18 left in Detroit. 2nd and 5 for Solberg. And he's got him in scoring position down inside the 20, down to the 15. Falk takes a check down, and Motor City will just have to sling it before the end of the half. Doug Falk in the first half is 11 for 11 for 60 yards. 11 for 11. That is pretty impressive, yet Minnesota is trailing by 11. 3rd and 2 for Portland to stay on the field. That's complete. So Emmanuel Blackman in this Huskies offense, which has been scoreless in this first half, finally starting to put something together. But right now we're watching 1st and 10 for Wichita in the red zone. Solberg is going to be sacked, lost the ball again, picked up by Motor City, and taking it all the way back to the 46-yard line. The second fumble of the first half for BK Solberg. Man, Motor City out here hitting tonight. Deep shot, Blackman in the red zone for Portland. Coming into the day, Motor City had only forced one fumble all season. They have not only 2 forced fumbles in the first half, but 2 fumble recoveries in the first half. And now the Mustangs have the ball with 45 seconds and 3 timeouts. Jack Brown's pass is airmailed. All right, let's go to Fresno, where Portland's got the ball inside the red zone, under a minute to play. Blackman against a late blitz. That pass incomplete. The 18th pass of the first half for Blackman. Jack Brown now back to work for the Mustangs offense. Look at the receiver driving the legs forward. Did they give him a first down for his efforts?
You got three down.
Montana and Motor City are out of their halftime break. No, it's going to be third down and short. Deep ball. Blackman incomplete. And Bobby Conley getting up asking for a penalty, but not going to get one. 3rd and inches for Motor City. They have 37 seconds and 2 timeouts just outside of field goal range. Jack Brown's going to fire over the middle of the field. That is caught into field goal range. Now Blackman, 45 seconds left, goes to the end zone. Wide open, touchdown Portland. Pass caught by unclaimed wide receiver 2, Dwayne Knight. The Huskies, the last team on the board tonight. That touchdown was 15 yards away for Portland, so another number in the teens off the board. (10-7) Motor City, 10-7 Fresno, 14-3 Montana. 25 seconds and 1 timeout left for the Mustangs. It is 3rd down and 10 at the Wichita 33. It'd be a 50-yard field goal from here.
Oh, yeah, and here we go again. Big River, Big River.
That pass is caught, but in the field of play, and it's 4th and 5. So Motor City will probably, they're just going to run the clock down, and they will kick the field goal just to end the half. But more points off turnovers as long as they can make the kick off of a BK Solberg fumble. This would be a 46-yard field goal for the Mustangs. 12 carries, 67 yards in the first half for the running back Cardiac Squid. And this is a 46-yard attempt for Motor City to get points before the end of the break. Their defense has stepped it up, and they have a 6-point lead going into halftime. Let's go to Minnesota, where the Chippers are across the 50. .46-yarder is our 11th called number of the night. This is the final night of Week 7. We've got a special Sunday doubleheader of primetime games, but in a matinee time slot, 3 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It's myself and Charles Doherty on the call. Charles Doherty will actually be here all weekend long at VFN Studios to call the SFL Championship game and the start of UFL week number 8.
Go, 60 Pittsburgh.
3rd down and 6. Those 2 games, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Florida, Dallas. Deep shot for Doug Falk, and Tyler Falk tried to run under it. That is Doug Falk's first incomplete pass of the game. It comes with 8:28 to go in the 3rd quarter, and still Minnesota is trailing by 11 and will have to punt the football. That is just wild. How does that even happen? Minnesota's going to attempt a 57-yard field goal. That would be the second longest, nearly blocked, and he got it! Wow! That's the second 50-plus yard field goal of the day, and it was almost blocked. Shout out to the Minnesota kicker with ice in his veins, available to be claimed, Brennan Morgan. Holy smokes. Brennan Morgan now 13 of 15 on the season. Ace Fenix wide open, and Fresno just before the half able to get into the red zone, but a touchdown saving tackle made, and that takes us to the third quarter, the final game to hit the third quarter. That 57-yard field goal was the same distance that St. Louis won the game on against Dallas in that UFL Classic on Monday night, 43-41. The Rivermen beat the Talons by 2. If you missed any of that game, catch all the highlights right here on VFN. What a first half for Blake Green, 12 of 16, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And after that 57-yard field goal, Minnesota is trailing by 8. Jason Williams with his 12th carry gets the drive started for Montana. Jared Lorenzo so far, Jimmy Lorenzo rather, 8 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Robert Henson's in the house. Blake Green having an excellent day so far. Completes that one for 19. Now over 200 yards passing. And Motor City's got a 3rd down and 9 coming up. We'll send our audio there.
Ready. 8, read. Silver. Let's go.
Jack Brown's pass caught down to the 22-yard line. Motor City knocking on the door of the red zone. Oh, James Walters had some unpleasantries there with the defender. Motor City has found the formula against the Flyers, who may be experiencing just a little bit of a letdown following their tragic loss to Dallas. They lost 31-25. In that game, they kicked 6 field goals. They don't have any field goals here today, but they do have 2 fumbles from BK Solberg. Handoff, Lorenzo gets rid of a defender, and a juke, and a score! Touchdown, Jimmy Lorenzo. Look at the replay and look at it. Boom, right there. Then Jukes sidesteps. Wow, take me to the dance floor. Jimmy Lorenzo with 2 rushing touchdowns in his UFL debut, and the Motor City Mustangs lead by 12. Man, and now the Mustangs going for 2. Jack Brown floats one into the back corner, and it's incomplete. So 19 is the number that comes off the board, another number in the teens. Lorenzo's run goes for 22. One of the best runs of the season. I think that might get on Instagram. If you're not following the UFL on Instagram, you're missing out. Our highlights getting thousands of views. 3 straight over 2,000, including James Walters' kick catch, the 75-yard Hail Mary that Denver completed to Rene Leon, and then Bobby Green's 3 broken tackles on his sensational first career touchdown in that primetime game against Dallas. All right, let's go to Fresno, where the Bobcats are protecting a 10-7 lead early in the third quarter. As Doug Folk has started a new streak of completed passes. We're up to 13 called numbers tonight here on YouGo. It is a four corners night. Here on the broadcast, both Wichita and Motor City are up over 200 yards, but it's Motor City's who's gotten the ground game going, surprisingly enough. That ball is hauled in. Fresno's Chad Powers, a 20-yard catch to, or a 20-yard throw to Denard Byam. Byam skies high for that one and hauls it in. Quick audible from Doug Falk in Minnesota. Another first down for the Chippers. Falk is 19 of 20 for 140 yards with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. That pass dropped by Solberg's target. Chad Powers play fake, almost threw a pick. And a screen is a mess out to Roland, who's not had a good game at all. Okoye with the tackle. Chris Delro takes the handoff for Wichita, his fourth carry of the game for 29 yards. Wichita coming off their loss. Wanted to get just a little bit more balanced in the passing game, or sorry, in the run game. After a lot of passes in the red zone last week, resulted in a lot of field goals. Another handoff here for Delro up the gut. He's got a first down. Motor City off the loss. They've lost three straight. Worked on their offensive line, their pass game this week, trying to limit the potential for Jack Brown to take costly sacks. Haven't seen too much action in the backfield by Wichita's defensive line, so appears to be working, and Jack Brown certainly having a fairly efficient day, although does have the one interception. Third down and 12. Doug Falk broke two tackles, but is going to be short of the first down, and again, a Minnesota drive stalls out. Minnesota is moving the football pretty much on every drive, but they just have not been able to find that explosive play today, as Fresno is nearing scoring position, trying to extend their 10-7 lead over Portland. 19-7 Motor City in the third. Another handoff here for Delro. Up to 6 carries for 37 yards. It's now third down and 7 for the Flyers. Cardiac Squid, 83 yards on 17 carries. He's got a Fresno first down. Cardiac Squid leads the league in rushing yards per game, 103.5. Isaiah Fowler, Bullet Boletsky, and Junior McCray just behind him heading into this week 7. Chad Powers is in the red zone for the Bobcats, and he almost threw a pick. That should have gone the other way. Powers tried to force one. That was a dangerous ball.
Ready to break.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Wichita's got a punt again. Powers, 2nd and 10. Deep shot end zone, and that one was picked off the deflection. That is one heck of a play. Lower left-hand corner. Tip drill pick. Wow, and he turned around for it too. And look, we got the ball in the camera and everything with the 2 feet down. That is an exceptional interception by the Portland secondary. And Fresno unable to extend their lead. Another monster throw from Blake Green in the Silvertips offense. 17 rack yards there for Dixon. Walters going backwards for the Mustangs, so now it's 3rd and 11. Let's see, I don't think we have anybody across the 50. And we got everybody in a replay right now. First to the ball is going to be Blackman. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, 6.5 to go. Emmanuel Blackman dumps it off The Cougar to the 36-yard line. Let's go to 3rd and 11 for Motor City. Deep shot, Jack Brown. That pass is incomplete. Wichita's defense with a stop, and Motor City will have to punt it away. End of the 3rd quarter in Minnesota. The Chippers, one more time this season, hanging around, but unable to get points on the board in a low-scoring game. Minnesota's last 2 losses, a 27-26 loss to Dakota, where Dakota came back and kicked a field goal at the very end. Or excuse me, Dakota scored a touchdown. Oh, look at Delro on the punt return. Nicely done. All the way up to the 45-yard line. Excellent punt return from Chris Delro in Wichita. But Minnesota loses on a last-second touchdown to Dakota, 27-26. And then on the road in Los Angeles, their defense was fantastic, but they couldn't get enough points. They lost 17-10 to Los Angeles. Chris Delro, after that long punt return, there's his numbers, 6 carries for 37 yards in that pass-first offense in Wichita that is losing by 12 right now. Solberg, incomplete. 14 of 22, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, but does have the 2 fumbles lost in this one.
Right there, 54 Mike.
2nd and 5 for Montana. They've crossed the 50, and Williams bowls over a defender for a first down to the Minnesota 34-yard line with under 11 minutes to play in that one. Portland still trailing 10-7 in kind of a slow-moving game in California. 3rd down and 9 for Wichita. Solberg's pass is caught. First down, Timothy Shea with the catch. 3rd down and 3 for Portland. Running behind the offensive line, not going to get there. Wrapped up by Brooke O'Neal. Shout out to Brooke O'Neal, who's still a part of this Fresno defense. Manuel Blackman on Portland. Over in Motor City, Jack Brown, Jimmy Lorenzo, James Walters, Ace Fennick, King Richard, Doug Howard Jr., Colin Douglas. In Wichita, B.K. Solberg, Keegan Sign, Chris Delro, R.J. Gilmer, Timothy Shea, Raylan Witten, Casey Reed, and Harper Dew, a part of the Flyers squad, as Delro's got a first down and more inside the 20-yard line. Montana's also down to the Minnesota 25. For Minnesota, Doug Falk, Dalton Brown, Tyler Falk, Donnie Allegheny. And in Montana, Blake Green, Jason Williams, Kay Marion, as Williams has the first down. On a 3rd and 2, the drive will continue for Montana. We're waiting for our next points here. Feels like something's going to happen. Wichita's in the red zone. Montana's nearing it. Solberg's pass is caught for a score. 17-yard strike to R.J. Gilmer for the Wichita touchdown. And that pass was a little bit behind Gilmer. He had to stop and come back to the football. A beautiful adjustment. Wichita's back in this thing, 19-13. They'll probably just kick the extra point.
The kicker on for the extra point.
If you had a bingo card tonight that had a bunch of stuff in the teens, you're having a good night. 14, 15, 17, 19 already called. But are they in the right spots? 5-play, 55-yard drive for Wichita after the excellent punt return from Delro. Montana's in the red zone, and Jason Williams walks it in from 13 yards away. Touchdown for Montana. From 13 yards out, and they extend their lead over Minnesota, and that feels like a gut punch for the Chippers. Let's go to, well, we got to delay a game. on the Bobcats. A low-scoring game, surprisingly, in Fresno.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Still first down.
Coming into the game, Fresno's
Ready.
offense averaged 23 points a game, 19th best in the league. Portland's offense averaging nearly 26 points a game, and they only have 7 right now, as Squid is up to 90 yards on 18 carries.
On the set.
Back to the cam here. UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine here with you on a Thursday night here on the Virtual Football Network. We have 2 one-score games, and Montana up 15, 21-6, which, by the way, 21 is now off the board, and 6 should be off the board as well. So we're up to 17 called numbers here on Yugo. All right, let's go. Let's get those numbers back up.
You ready?
50 seconds, the mic. It's coming this way, Here we go.
Fire.
Doug Falk's second incompletion, almost an interception. 17 called numbers, nothing in the 30s tonight
Down. 30 base.
that have been called. Jared Lorenzo takes another carry for Motor City. They are protecting a 5-point advantage. Doug Falk fires that one complete for a Minnesota first down. 8 minutes left. The Chippers will be in no huddle here. The end of the third quarter in Fresno is upon us. (10-7), about to be 13-7 if they can make the kick. This is a 40-yard field goal for Fresno if they can put it through. 3rd down and 1, Motor City's got the first down. 40-yard field goal is good. That's our 18th number off the board, and Fresno extends their lead to 13-7. Doug Falk's pass over the middle is complete. 7:23 to go. 213 yards for Minnesota tonight. 161 of those through the air. And the Chippers have another first down. Let's go to Detroit, where the Mustangs are back in scoring position at the Wichita 31-yard line. They are the last game in the third quarter. Jack Brown's pass hauled in by King Richards, who's having a pretty nice game. 5 catches for 51 yards and also has an end around for 15 yards.
Go now. 18 Gator.
Minnesota not in no huddle just yet, but Tyler Falks got a completion to the 29-yard line. 5 catches, 55 yards for Tyler Falk. Minnesota moving the football. Just starting the fourth quarter in Fresno. Portland and Fresno have basically played to stalemate thus far. 327 yards for Fresno to just 188 for Portland, yet it's just a 6-point game.
Ready.
Play fake. Blackman fires down the field. That is caught to the 46-yard line for Portland first down. Now Jack Brown slinging it. Oh, what a hit! On 3rd and 4. Donnie Allegheny's got Minnesota in the red zone, but upper left-hand corner. Look at this shot. Delivered to the receiver. Boom! An absolute smackdown. That was strong safety Nico Reginald. And from 41 yards out, Motor City's field goal is good. And 22 was already off the board. Our 19th called number here on game night. Could this be a 3rd straight game night without a bingo? We had a flurry of Yugos on UFL Primetime. You never know which broadcast is really going to deliver the goods. Things are heating up right now. 3rd down and 8 at the 16 for Minnesota in the red zone. Touchdown. Minnesota back in the ball game. Doug Falk with the score, the first touchdown of the day for Minnesota. Portland is almost into the red zone with 10:40 to go in the ball game. For Bradley, that was a 16-yard catch for a score, already off the board, as is 13, so nothing new there. Let's go to Fresno, where Portland, down 6, is on the move, down inside the 10-yard line. Braylon Witten with another catch for Wichita. They trail by 8, but they still have a whole nother quarter to play in that ball game. Already down to 5:20 to go in the fourth quarter in Minnesota, where the Chippers have cut the Silvertips lead down to 8. First and 10 for Portland. Guger takes the handoff down to the 6, just his 10th carry of the ball game. R.J. Gilmer with another reception for Wichita, and they have finally hit the end of the third quarter in Detroit. Red zone for the Huskies. 9 minutes to go. Play fake. Blackman pass back in the end zone. Touchdown! Portland ties the game with a 6-yard score. B.K. Solberg goes down. Bailey's second sack of the day as Motor City's defense continues to play well. They only gave up 8 points against Rochester in their last game, but somehow they only gave up 10, but lost the game 10-8 in probably one of the strangest games in the UFL this season. Up to nearly 50 viewers here on Game Night, and we have 3 one-score games right now. Portland's extra point would give them the lead. Their kick is good. 2nd and 16 for Wichita. Down 8 in the fourth quarter, and Solberg is sacked again. Ford working on his boxing moves. His 3rd tackle of the game, and now it's 3rd down and 22 for the Flyers. 3rd and 8 for Montana, up 8, 4.5 to go. Blake Green fires down the field, pass knocked up in the air and just almost 10 yards past the intended target. That could have gone to anybody. Lower right-hand corner. Ball volleyball spiked out of the receiver's hands. It was looking for Dixon, and that's Marquise Virgil, who popped that one up in the air, and that was nearly taken away by the Chippers. Wichita on a check down to Delrobe, and they will cut their losses and have to punt the football away. The defensive line for Motor City, which statistically has been the worst in the UFL, only 9 sacks through 5 games, with back-to-back takedowns on that drive, helping to get the Flyers offense off the field. So everything Motor City's defense hasn't been doing this season, they are doing in this game, trying to pull a big-time upset against the Wichita Flyers. Wichita right now is the 6th best record in the UFL at 4-1. They trail Dakota, Cincinnati, Salt Lake, Dallas, and St. Louis. They are one of 6 one-loss teams in the league. There is no one left remaining undefeated. Let's go to Fresno, where the Bobcats are now trailing for the first time today. That pass is caught by Byam over the middle to the Portland 48-yard line with 9 minutes to play. 5 catches for 75 yards for Byam. 4 minutes to go in Minnesota. They're going no huddle. Ball's at the 40-yard line for Doug Falk, who's had a nice day, but that one's incomplete. 25 of 30, 221 yards and a touchdown. Speaking of the Falks, Tyler Falk and Ramos Lynn have the call of 3-3 Washington against 3-3 Charlotte coming up in UFL primetime. It's the primetime debut of TJ Stevens. And there's a fumble in the Motor City game. We got to check a replay on that. It looks like the Mustangs did recover. Harper Deuce celebrating. Upper left-hand corner. Yeah, Jack Brown lost the football. And the big fella makes the recovery. Harper Dew got the tackle. 3rd down and 8 for Doug Falk. That pass is caught by his son down to the Montana 42-yard line. Drive stays alive for the Chippers. Falk's up to 72 yards on 6 grabs. So Motor City will have to punt it away off the fumble. Doug Falk looking, takes a sack. They've protected him pretty well today, but not on that one. Fresno up to the Portland 26-yard line, 7.5 to go. 300 yards on the dot for Chad Powers today. Doug Falk's pass complete to the sideline. That stops the clock to the 38-yard line. 2:48 for Doug. Allegheny with the catch, his 6th of the day. Solberg, deep ball for Wichita for 23 yards up to the 47-yard line. 8:15 left. The lights are coming on in Fresno as the sun sets here in California. You can kind of see that unique haze that kind of wafts over this field. As we hit the late evening hours, Timothy Shea with a beautiful ball on the sideline for Wichita. Another sack for Montana. That defensive line starting to barrel down. Doug Falk's got to learn how to get rid of it. Fresno is in the red zone. What a response by the Bobcats after Portland just took the lead. Solberg down 8, fires it into traffic, and it is somehow caught by Darian Atkins. 1st down, Wichita to the Motor City 40. Cardiac squid, spin move, touchdown! Fresno answers Portland's touchdown with a touchdown of their own. Squid, the league's leading rusher, with the spin. And that score comes from 9 yards out. 9 yards out. Fresno is going for 2. And Solberg's got the ball in the near the red zone. The 2-point conversion for Fresno is good. So they take a 21-14 lead over Portland with 6:01 to go. 9 is your 20th called number here on Game Night. 21-13 Montana. They get the football back after Minnesota elects to punt it away. They just took a timeout. The sacks derailed that Minnesota Chipper drive. Solberg and the Flyers are just outside the red zone. Timothy Shea has struggled to get going in that screen game. All right, let's go to Detroit, where Wichita is trailing in scoring position. Montana has the football on a 3rd down and 3. The Silvertips are trying to get to 3 and 4. That would vault them up with New Orleans, the only 3 and 4 team in the league currently. Solberg from the 23. Pass is caught down to the 5-yard line. 1st down. That's Atkins again, his 6th grab. He's got 142 yards on the day. Wichita's in the red zone down 8. Tyler Shelby asking about the 2 games on Sunday. It's a doubleheader, 3 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Eastern of matinee football. It's just consider it a back-to-back primetime effort here from the UFL. Montana's got a punt. Solberg's pass, he had a receiver, but it's incomplete. So Minnesota burns 2 timeouts, but does get off the field. They have 1 timeout remaining, down 8. Blackman has the football, down 7 for Portland with 5:44 to go. And it's 2nd and goal for Wichita at the 5-yard line. Solberg fires into the end zone. That is incomplete. 3rd and goal for the Flyers as Minnesota attempts their comeback drive. Oh, Skippy needs the 5. 3rd and goal at the 5 for Wichita. Solberg has all kinds of time. Solberg can't run with it. He has to check it down. Now it's 4th down at the 4. Tyler Falk with another catch. Minnesota's on the move to their own 35-yard line, 1:38 to play. Fresno gets the football back, I believe, off of Portland punt. Yeah, Portland elects to punt back at their own 30-yard line with 5.5 to go. Chad Powers is sacked. Good start for Portland's drive. This is going to be 4th down for Wichita. They got to go for it. They need 4 yards. Doug Falk, lower right, down 8 with 1:05 to go. All kinds of time. Falk flings into the end zone. That pass is caught by Tyler Falk, and Wichita scores on 4th and goal. 49-yard touchdown, Tyler Falk in the back of the end zone. Meanwhile, the Flyers are now down just 2 as they convert on 4th and goal. 2-point try for Wichita. There goes Cardiac Squid. Squid for Fresno. The 2-point conversion is no good for Wichita. Touchdown, Fresno. 2-point try for Minnesota, down 2. And the rollout, Falk throws short of the end zone. It's incomplete. What is happening? 2-point tries, no good for both Wichita and Minnesota to potentially tie the game in the final minutes. And Cardiac Squid goes ballistic. The league's leading rusher may have just put that game away. Fresno offensive onslaught in the 4th quarter. Now 19 is already hit, 49 had not, 20 had not after the failed 2-point try, and 28 had not. So 49, 28, and 20 added to the list here. We still have not had any Yugos called, but there's an onside kick recovery going on in Minnesota, and Minnesota got it! Unbelievable! Still 4:48 to go in Detroit. So Wichita just kicked it deep, but Montana fails to recover the onside, and Minnesota has the football.
Let's go, 18 Gator. Go, go, go. 5.
Doug Falk going to take off and run. Has the first down, and a flag on Montana. Why am I getting deja vu? Didn't Montana earlier this season grab a face mask and it allowed, I think it was a Montana game. I think it was Dakota that allowed Montana to get into scoring position. And that puts Minnesota all the way down to the 26-yard line. A Montana meltdown here as the handoff goes to Dalton Brown. The Silvertips now have to start burning timeouts. Motor City with 3:10 to go, trying to protect a 2-point advantage over Wichita in what would be a major upset. Jimmy Lorenzo still running hard.
Ready, 30 base.
2nd and 8, 49 seconds to go for the Chippers. Doug Falk's going to throw for it. Doug Falk's got to get rid of it. He takes a sack. And now, because Montana is holding on to their timeouts because a 50-yarder is not a guarantee, there goes Lorenzo for Motor City getting the first down on 3rd and short. Wichita's having to burn timeouts. They're in some trouble now. Falk on 3rd down and 18. He's got to get rid of it. Doug Falk sacked again. Now it's a Minnesota meltdown. I cannot believe this.
Hurry.
No huddle. 7 seconds left. It's 4th and 28. You have no choice. You got to get the first down. Doug Falk going long. The pass to the sideline is incomplete. The time is out.
We got
Montana wins the game. Oh my gosh. The Silvertips survive. Blake Green, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. Wins his first game as a starter, and Montana improves to 3-4. Minnesota finding different ways to lose a football game every week. And on 4th and 14, Portland just turned the ball over. And hey, I'm just going to say it. It would help Minnesota if their players voted on improvements to the team. And we've got a little bit of a conversation about that in primetime coming up, about how your vote will matter even more moving forward here in the UFL. You'll want to catch me on the broadcast sometime in the second half. But holy smokes, the Montana Silvertips, I cannot believe they just pulled that off. Minnesota was in scoring position. Falk takes back-to-back sacks. They had done a pretty good job protecting him all day. He was 30 of 38 for 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. And Minnesota still couldn't get it done. Probably the best offensive day for Minnesota in a long time. Meanwhile, in Motor City, Wichita cannot stop Jimmy Lorenzo. Jimmy Lorenzo has been a revelation to this offense as Jack Brown takes a sack. Now, Wichita is out of timeouts. Casey Reed, nice takedown. That's his second of the day. Wichita is out of timeouts, but they are not able to run out the clock. So the Mustangs still trying to score. Right now, Portland is in burn timeout mode. Fresno has been out. Fresno was down in the fourth quarter, 14-13. They scored on back-to-back plays. The league's leading rusher, that guy right there, Cardiac Squid, has been outstanding for the Bobcats.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
One timeout left for Portland, but what we're paying attention to right now is Jimmy Lorenzo and the Motor City Mustangs, who are trying to milk the clock. It is 4th down. Could we get a bingo on this? No, 27-yard field goal is the attempt, although 25 is not off the board as Squid exhausts Portland's final timeout. 25 is a good Yugo number here tonight. That is our 24th called number. Do we really not have another Yugo here on game night? 24th called number here tonight. Motor City just kicked a field goal with 5 seconds left. Chris Delrose had a nice kick return for a score. They need some magic here. Wow, what a game for Motor City. This is the 3rd game of a 3-game homestand. They lost the first 2. The Mustangs started 2-0 this season. They had lost 3 straight, including last week 10-8 to Rochester. But this is another impressive performance at home by the Mustangs, 25-20. There's 2 seconds left. BK Solberg, we've seen a Hail Mary completed in the UFL before. He's got a rocket. Solberg deep down the field. The ball is picked off at the 14-yard line. Motor City pulls the upset. Michael Percoco thinks he's got a Yugo at card 12. And he does with that 25. Wow. Nice win, Coco, right at the final seconds of game night. Unreal he got the 25 to hit right at the end from Motor City. This is a 30-yard field goal for Fresno. It would also pull 31 off the board if the kick is good, which it is. So 30 and 31 come off the board extremely late as we run down the final minutes of game night. That's 26 called numbers here on game night this evening. Look at Motor City, 191 yards on the ground compared to 180 passing yards. Motor City coming into the game had the 5th worst rushing offense in the league, averaging just 83.2 yards per game. And they put up nearly 200 rushing yards on the Wichita Flyers, who had a rough day from B.K. Solberg, 2 fumbles lost and an interception. Jimmy Lorenzo, 18 carries for 101 yards and 2 scores. And hopefully I didn't say Jared Lorenzo too much here on this broadcast. Jared Lorenzin was a legend in the indoor football space. But Jimmy Lorenzo was a legend today for the Motor City Mustangs in another big-time upset here on game night. Another top team going down. Brooke O'Neal is punching at the receiver well out of bounds. I am shocked that there was not a late hit flag. Brooke O'Neal getting feisty down there. And as we wind down to on the final numbers here, your numbers on Yugo tonight: 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 27, 28, 30, 31, 40, 41, 43, 46, 49, and 50 plus. We're about ready for the outro, but Portland is playing out the stretch. Fresno has scored 18 unanswered since trailing in the fourth quarter, 14-13 to the Huskies. A very impressive fourth quarter as Fresno goes to 4-3. Our next game night is Tuesday, May 13th. And on Tuesday, we've got San Diego at Rochester. That will be a very interesting game. 4-2 Wildcats, 5-2 Pioneers. Pioneers struggling a little bit as of late. San Jose is also struggling. They are 2-4. They will go to Vegas, where the Devils have not won at home, but are undefeated on the road. 4-2 is Vegas. Minnesota, the struggling Chippers, go to Tennessee to all of a sudden take on the Red Hot Ramblers. And then Austin visits Cleveland, the struggling Bandits offense, trying to get right against Austin. You do need all 4 corners, Juan. Michael Percoco gets the lone bingo here on game night, but maybe we'll get some bingos in prime time. We got many bingos in prime time last time out with St. Louis and Dallas. Fresno goes for 297 through the air, 209 on the ground. You can see those stats on their individual game. Cue the outro. Final scores tonight. Wichita falls to Motor City in an upset. 25-20 the Mustangs snap a 3-game skid. Fresno scores 18 unanswered in the fourth quarter and beats Portland 31-14 to improve to 4-3. And Minnesota found another way to lose a game, but Montana, led by new quarterback Blake Green, was outstanding offensively, and the Silvertips get a 21-19 victory over Minnesota. From all of us at the UFL, I'm UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine, and this has been a presentation of the Virtual Football Network. Tyler Falk and Ramos Lynn have the call of Washington Charlotte. Coming up next in UFL Primetime. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you there.